All right. We are back for Roundtable Rams, episode number 12. I am once again joined by Billie Melissa and Buddy as we talk all about Rams football. We got a lot of draft stuff going on. We got a lot of Puka Nacua drama that we can probably touch on a little bit. We're going to not do a whole lot of it because I don't want to get us in trouble about the legality or whatever the hell is going on with that guy. But anyway, we'll just jump right into it. The Athletic released a brand new mock draft, which basically has the Rams trading up, of all things, trading up to number 10 to take Carnell Tate. They obviously trade their number 13 overall pick. I forgot who's at number 10.
Bengals.
I don't see this happening, but anyway, let's just entertain it for right now. So they trade with the Bengals. They give the Bengals a third round pick. And that's what they propose. And then they go get Carnell Tate.
Sounds great for the Rams. Doesn't sound great for the Bengals.
That'll be kind of weird. I don't know why the Bengals would do that.
Well, the Bengals are the Bengals. They should have fired their head coach a long time ago and have not. So they're not immune to making really bad decisions.
Right.
They could choose Carnell Tate for themselves, I think. So I like it for the Rams if it were to go through. Makes sense. Sounds great. Having that alongside Puka Nacua sounds amazing.
Yeah. Tate, I don't know if he would even fall to 10 right now. I'm seeing a lot of mocks right now. He's like the highest I've seen him go is like 8, right? But I mean, if the Rams want to do that and they view Tate highly and maybe he does fall to 10, like, hey, why not, right? I mean, you have the third wide receiver for the Rams there. And some could argue that that was the missing piece, right? If they had another pass catcher, they had someone else to help out Puka and Devontae. Tate could certainly be that guy in 2026. He's one of the few guys that could come in and just immediately impact the game straight from college to the NFL. We saw that a little bit with Mecca and Buka last year. Where did he go to school? Ohio State, Carnell Tate, Buckeye himself, right? So, Carnell Tate, he could easily be a guy to come in and be one of Matthew Stafford's, new toys, right? Like, it's weird because like Nacua, like even though Devontae Adams is so talented, it feels like it's always like Puka. So I feel like the Rams need to. This is probably another topic for discussion, but like the Rams need to find a way to like kind of,
Spread the ball around.
Spread the ball around. Tate could be that guy. I just don't see them maybe trading up. I see them trading down because they've been trading down. I feel like for the past number of years, trading up would be a really big surprise, and that would certainly be a shock. But hey, it's draft night, right? A lot of things could happen. A lot of crazy things happen already. So Tate to the Rams. I mean, the rich keep on getting richer.
Yeah, I mean. That would be a move that signals that what everybody knows is F them picks. Like if they're really like going all in, Carnell Tate would be that guy. He had what is it? 793 receiving yards, 8 touchdowns, and he had 18 yards per reception, which is crazy. But he also had 198 yards after the catch. So I agree with you, buddy. I think that's an important aspect of this offense is because you got Kanata Mumfield, you got Xavier Smith, but like they didn't really do much. They didn't have like a lot of targets or whatever as well, but I think it's because Matthew Stafford potentially doesn't trust them yet, doesn't know what they're capable of doing, and Puka's always the guy that catches the ball. So why would you not throw him to him? Devontae Adams did lead the league in 14 touchdown receptions, but if you look at it in a broader sense, you got your downfield threat with Puka. You got your red zone threat with Devontae Adams, and then you got your middle of the field yards after the catch threat with Carnell Tate. It would make complete sense for them to trade up to get him, but unless he's sitting there ready to go at number 10, and the Bengals too, the Bengals may need Carnell Tate themselves. I don't think you're going to get away with trading only a third round pick to move up, even just those 3 slots. It's regardless if it's a small jump in that first round, the top 15 is gold no matter where it is. So I just don't see the Bengals going, oh yeah, sure, take Carnell Tate for a third round pick. I don't see that happening. I mean, obviously, again, I think that if they offered more it
Mm.
would make a lot more sense. And then you go, oh yeah, they're definitely going F them picks. But I agree with you. I think they're going to trade down.
Yeah,
Yeah, me too.
yeah. If there's a trade involved, I think they're going to trade down. Um, I'm getting this. I think they keep the pick, number one. They trade down,
Hmm.
and then like later on in the totem pole, like deep down, like option number three is trading up. That's just not what Les Snead has done. That's
Hmm.
not, that would be very uncharacteristic of him. Unless he views Tate or any of these other players like so highly. It's like, all right, it's boom or bust here. Like day
Yeah.
one, we have to get Tate, we have to get Lemon, we have to get Tyson, right? We have to get whatever, right? Like if Snead views it that way, he will. But at the same time, like this guy drafts so well, he could find uh he could fight someone like that in the fifth round. He could fight someone
Hmm.
like that in
Hmm.
the sixth round,
Hmm.
right? Because he has that track record. He's proven that and he has the ability to do that, right? So that's another reason why I have them trading up. So like the odds of that are just so low because he could find a first round talent in the fifth round, and he's proven that time and time again. Kobe Turner, that was a third round pick, right? Braden Fisk, that he viewed Braden Fisk so high, he traded three picks for him to go into the second round to draft Braden Fisk. And yeah, Braden Fisk, he's not like this household name or anything like that, but he's been a very impactful player for the Rams, and he's good buddies with Jared Verse, right? So like just that chemistry that they have together on the line, like it just goes to show like if Les Snead really loves someone, he's gonna go up and get it. And I don't see that being the case in the first round, but who knows?
Yeah, I mean the Bengals only have 8 draft picks, and they only have one in the first, one in the second, and one in the third. So obviously, it would make sense for them to want to bring in a third, but I just I don't see that happening in the first round when the Bengals themselves have a deep need for lots of players as well.
Everything?
Yeah, exactly, for everything. So yeah, I just don't see that happening for a third. If he would have said something like a second or whatever, like a package that would have included something in addition, maybe even a third round pick this year, a third round pick next year, that would make more sense. But just one,
Mm,
don't see it.
no,
No.
definitely not.
Love it for them if they can pull it off, but
I mean,
Yeah.
if anybody's gonna pull it off, it's gonna be Les Snead because that guy just works draft magic like every damn year.
hmm.
Um, but moving right along to our Puka Nacua drama, starting off with, we did speak about this in terms of Ravens and Zay Flowers, but we're gonna bring it back up right here. JSN got paid buku bucks, 42.15 million, whatever it was. I think I said it
Yep.
before. Thank you. 42.15 million per year, 4 year, 168.6.
6.
Thank you. Um, yeah. Do we think Puka Nacua is going to get more than that?
Yeah.
No?
Easy,
No.
easily, easily.
Oh, I thought you were shaking your head. I do.
You do, yeah, I know you said you do, but buddy, yes, no, yes, no.
Yes, yeah, yeah, without a doubt.
Oh.
It's weird because of the situation that's
Yeah.
happening, right? So that kind of throws like a little wrench in it. But I mean, um, like the Rams are all about business, and if I'm sure they know the details about what's going on. If not yet, they will soon. But if nothing pressing happens on that matter, it's a matter of when, not if. Nakua has proven it's crazy because like coming into the league, you're like, wait, who is this guy? Like week one against Seattle, he just popped off, right? And
Hmm.
he had all these crazy plays and phenomenal plays, and then like the really next thing in this game was okay, well, he's not a deep threat. Well, he just proved that in 2025 that he was like one of the best deep threats in the game, matching JSN, right? So like this guy has proven that he could do it all on the field. He could line up anywhere on the field. He's just getting better and better. He's only 24 years old. Obviously, this is all not accounting for the off the field stuff. Just football wise, this guy has gotten better and better, and he's just such a tough guy to bring down. And I think it's really him and Jason. If you want to flip flop one or two, doesn't really matter. But this guy has proven that he's worth that money and that he's just such a dynamic player that it's just insane how much he's transformed and revolutionized this Rams team and this Rams offense, leading them to one of the best offenses in the league. And I don't see that changing in 2026, barring, I wouldn't say anything catastrophic, but barring anything that's going on right now. Yeah, this guy easily deserves the money. He's easily going to surpass JSN. Are the Rams are going to do him a favor, and I think that Nacua, there's no reason that he's not going to get any better, especially if the Rams provide him with some help, whether that's in day one or later on in the draft.
Yeah, I mean, he's going to want that price tag, and his agent's going to want that price tag, and you can say you're not going to pay it all you want, but like you're just going to put your team at a detriment. It may be not like millions more, but like just enough to just edge that market just a little bit higher. And you want that deal done. This deal is going to put pressure on a lot of organizations who need to sign their receivers, and they're going to want to be the next ones to do it, because otherwise you're just going to price is just going to keep hiking up. So yeah, I see him getting paid maybe just a little bit more, just to put it at ease, and they don't have to worry about it.
Yeah, it'll be something like 42.5 million per year. It's something to just push him over the edge to be that guy. Edge. But I mean, like, you're looking at him side by side. He had 129 receptions. JSN had 119. He was only 75 yards less than JSN, and he did miss one game. JSN was better average, 15.1 yards per reception, as opposed to Puka's 13.3. But he did have 107.2 yards per game. JSN had 105.5. He also had 666 yards after the catch. So, I mean, they're neck and neck. You're
in the same division.
Yeah, you're splitting hairs about like who's better or whatever, but they're right there. They're the top two guys in the NFL right now. But as you said, buddy, Puka just keeps getting better and better, and every time like you think that Puka's not going to catch the ball, he catches the ball, and it's crazy. Like, he's the guy, and they keep throwing. Matthew Stafford keeps throwing it to him because he's that dependable. He had a lot of uncharacteristic drops in the playoffs, and you're like, what the hell's going on there? But regardless of that, he was just on point the entire season. I think you guys are right. I think he's going to get paid. We'll just briefly touch on it if he stops getting in trouble. We don't know what the hell's going on, but allegedly bit somebody. That's what TMZ said. We're not going to get into it. What the hell is going on? Is it a shakedown? Is it not? For legality, we're not going to get into it. All I'm saying is, if you're doing anything weird, Puka, get your shit together. Come on, man.
Also,
get your money, play your football, and be quiet.
Also, just one thing for GMs out there: who cares about the 40-yard dash? That's a major reason why Puka Nacua fell in the draft.
Oh yeah,
why he fell fifth. Who cares about the 40-yard dash? This guy is still baller. Players have proven that.
To be perfectly honest, I don't give a crap about the combine in general. Like, I just think it's so silly. I don't
such a one-day thing, isn't it?
Well, that, and then they do pro day, but I don't understand it. I'm like, okay, look, like, I know it's a way for scouts to kind of look at your like intangibles and stuff like that, or whatever, or your tangible skills, or I don't know, but I think it's all silly. Like, Xavier Worthy controversially set the record for the 40-yard dash, but I mean, like, he's been decent. But then again, like, you look at who's throwing him the ball, it's Patrick Mahomes. Patrick Mahomes can make anybody look good. Like, it's Patrick Mahomes. Like, I just think the whole thing is silly. I agree with you. I don't care. Fantasy wise, I did care because Puka got picked up, and I wasn't the one that got him, and I was like, who the hell is this kid? And he blew up, and then that was it. And then the whole season just ran away with all the stats, and I was like, oh, great. Like, there we go. But the point being, I agree with you.
Here's a fun little tidbit. Puka Nacua is supposed to be a Raven because John Harbaugh wanted him, and Eric said no. Imagine that. Man.
Lamar Jackson and Puka Nacua. Woo!
Yeah, that would be nasty.
I mean,
that would be nasty.
But then again, like, I don't know. Yeah. let's just not care about the combine and the 40-yard dash. I agree with you. I think it's, I think it's silly. Like, looking back with the Dolphins, Laramie Tunsil, he was on video smoking a bong, and he dropped to the Dolphins, and that the rest is history. Like, that's such a stupid thing to be looked down on. And it's like Ruben Bain. Oh, he's got smaller arms. Like, are you effing who cares, dude? Like, the guy can play.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's just there's just a lot of things that going on to it. It's like, all right, if you want to judge a guy by running a 4.57 40, and you want to see him drop in the draft, if you like him, go take him. You have tape on this guy. Who cares what he did on a 2-day stretch
Yeah.
in Indianapolis? Look at what
And,
he did
and,
over the
and it's
course.
like, you don't know what they're traveling for that. Are they tired? Did they eat
Yeah.
breakfast? Are they not loaded up? Is there something going on where they just ran slower than they usually run? Like none of that crap matters. Like, I mean, you could see, like we saw Francis Mauigoa. That dude was flying for an offensive lineman. You could see it. But I mean, that doesn't mean that, what does that mean? That when the hell does a lineman ever have to run 40 yards? Like,
It's like,
I mean,
probably like a total
hey,
40 yards, like a half.
that's a purpose.
I'll say this though. I'll say there are some, yes, Billy. There are some linemen that you see still don't give up on the play, and that's something you definitely want. But most of the time, they're not running 40 yards down the field. As soon as they're done, they got their hands on their hips, like, oh god, because they just went up against a 350-pound freaking lineman on the defense. Like,
Hey,
it just
but when
doesn't
they
make
come
sense.
in and they're catching touchdowns on those one occasions, it
Yeah.
matters.
I will forever be so upset that the touchdown that Rob Hunt caught and he flipped and landed in the end zone was not counted. I will forever be mad about that.
That was like
I
a top 10
can,
play I've ever seen in my life.
dude, I was screaming, and I will always hate the NFL for not letting that happen. They should have just let it happen just because. Like, they should have just done
Yeah.
like, that was one of the, dude, he flipped, landed on his head in the end zone, and it would have been a touchdown, but they called it back because he was an ineligible receiver. I will forever ever hate the NFL for not letting that go.
Yeah.
Even I forgot who was calling it. They were like, they should have just let it happen. I was like, I know. Anyway, we're getting way off base here.
No,
But,
it matters.
yeah,
It matters.
but
It matters. I agree, Billy. It matters.
I mean, I get it. It's just like, I don't know. I just think it's kind of silly to measure like the vert, and like, obviously when linemen are doing bench presses, that does matter because it's like, how strong are these guys? You're going to be pushing 350-pound defensive linemen and pass rushers. You got to be strong. So that makes sense. But I don't know, 40-yard dash, it's like,
Nacua has defied all the odds already. He's a top talent in this league. He means a lot to the Rams.
yeah.
I think both sides are, they love each other. It's truly a marriage, right? And
I forgot this is about Puka's deal. It's like, how did we get here?
I don't know. Look, this is a podcast. Sometimes you got to
It
riff. And
matters.
just, yeah, you
It
just got
all
to go this
matters.
way.
all this
Look,
matters.
Puka
All this-
Nacua is going to get a record-breaking contract.
his money.
That's where he's going to get his money. Stop doing weird stuff if you're doing it. You know what's up. That's all we'll say about that.
Yeah.
Moving to different Rams news that doesn't have to do with 40-yard dash, running linemen, and all that. But it does have to do with the big body. The Rams are, in my opinion, making some very smart moves, bringing back in-house talent that people may have not discounted, but rather not thought that they would bring back. Defensive end Larrell Murchison is back on a 1-year deal. He did a lot of special teams plays, but he was one of the rotationary defensive ends, and he got 2 sacks. I think that's important. I think it's a really good signing for the Rams to bring him back on a 1-year deal. And I think it shows that they're bringing in those quality players, especially those role players, because that's what you need to do. As a championship roster, you don't want to let those guys go, because then it's like, where's your depth at? What are you going to do when Braden Fisk is tired, or, you need to get those guys out? You got Larrell Murchison there. Also, Ronnie Rivers, they brought back on a 1-year deal. Ronnie was used mightily in the kick return game in 2025 and got something like 21 yards per return, for over 400 yards in his
26.1.
26.1. I was way off. But anyway, that's really good. And I think that also was for a reason that I will bring him up again. And I'm going to continue bringing him up because it just is what it is. I think bringing Ronnie Rivers back is insurance for Xavier Smith, because we all know what happened. We all saw it go down. I think you need to not bet on that. And I think it's very smart for Sean McVay and the coaching staff to be like, look, like Ronnie picked up 26 yards per return. That's not somebody you want to let walk. You give him a good deal, a 1-year deal. You bring him back in the building. It's somebody that knows the Rams, that did pretty decently for them. I like both of these moves.
Yeah, we said it over and over again. Like, the Rams were this close. Why upset, things that don't need to be upset? Just bring those guys back, keep that depth. don't worry about going out and finding extra talent. Like you've got them there. There are only small parts now that you have to figure out.
Yeah. If there's an area of depth that the Rams need, it is on the pass rush, and I don't hate the Murchison thing, bringing him back. Obviously, he's been with the team since 2022. He's been doing really solid. Do they need more? Of course they do. They need more, but this provides them with some depth, and then also too with bringing back Ronnie Rivers, right? Yeah, he's the fourth running back on the depth chart, but yeah, he's going to be used in the special teams a lot, maybe. So it's really important to have that depth. You need to give your guys some rest sometimes. Murchison could provide that, but like I said, the Rams are not done. They're gonna keep on addressing that need. Um, so and then also too, I think about like just how depth important is, how important depth is. I remember in the Super Bowl when they were playing the Bengals, they were literally down to their third tight
I
end.
forgot the Bengals
Higbee
made the
was
Super
down.
Bowl
Yeah.
that one time.
Tyler Higbee was down and Johnny Munn was down, and it was literally Bryson Hopkins just going out there. He was literally he played that entire last drive that the Rams had. It was known as now as like the Cooper Cup drive, but
Yeah.
they needed that depth, right? And I think the same is gonna be with both the depth, adding Murchison and adding Ronnie Rivers, right? Like Kyron Williams, sure he has, he's really good, but he's also had like his struggles with injuries. Blake Corum has been really reliable when they given him the opportunity. That's only gonna grow in 2026. Hopefully there's no wear and tear there, right? So you just never know. The more you have, the better. And I think this only speaks to how much more depth they're gonna get, and how much they're relying on that. So we'll just see who else they add, especially when it comes to the pass rush.
Yeah, I think that's important where you said depth, and I think this brings up a concern of mine because I do like Murchison coming back, I do like Ronnie Rivers coming back, but several of the depth cornerbacks are now gone. So Kobe Durant is with the Cowboys, as is Darion Kendrick, and now Akella Witherspoon is visiting the Commanders, and I believe he's going to visit somebody else. But that paints an important picture, like beyond, you know, Trent McDuffie and Jalen Watson.
Yeah.
I'm a little concerned with cornerback depth because what happens when one of those guys goes down? I mean, you're banking on them both being available, but then again, like, who do you got backing them up? It's a little dicey, and again, depth does matter because you need those depth pieces, especially for the Rams. The Rams can't go any season without some quality player going down for a few games at least. Obviously, they were better about it in 2025, but there's still some injury issues. Which is why a lot of people are mocking them to offensive linemen because Kevin Dotson and Steve Avila had some injuries in 2025, and then 2024. Look what happened. The whole line was hurt to start the season, and the Rams went 1-3 in their first 4 games. So depth matters. I think that's kind of where you go in terms of. I mean, maybe they might even go a cornerback at number 13 overall. We don't really know. It's not that they have a desperate need for a starter, but they just have those second and third tier players that they need to bolster up and make sure that, exactly like you said, buddy, if it's a situation where they run into where you have injuries, those first 2 guys, the starter, the backup, you need that third guy to come in and be able to do his job. So I think that's important when why Murchison's back and why Rodney Rivers is back, especially because if Xavier Smith has another situation where he messes up in the way that he did in the NFC Championship, then you go, okay, dude, you're not returning anymore. We're just gonna hand it over to Rivers and let him do his thing.
Yeah,
Hmm.
exactly, exactly. Yeah, like luckily, in 2024, they were able to pick up Emmanuel Forbes,
Yeah,
and and he's done really solid for them. In 2025, he was really solid for them too. And now you look at him, and it's like, yeah, he's not gonna take care of those top tier guys, right? And nor should he. But that provides depth. And then you also look at guys like Quentin Lake. He struggled with injuries later in the year.
hmm
Came back in the playoffs. I wouldn't say he was really himself, but he was out in the field.
hmm
And then you have also guys like Josh Wallace, Jalen McConnell,
hmm
right? So like, you have those guys, but it never hurts to have more, right? Because like Andrew Quinn Lake last year, it really hampered them in the game against the Falcons. You
hmm
know, and later on in the season, right? So um, never hurts to have more, and I think the Rams realize that, and they're gonna address that in the draft, and maybe in the coming summer months.
Yeah,
Hmm.
and I mean, speaking of having more than you need, there's a couple players that have been kind of popping up, being mentioned alongside the Rams. They seem like good ideas to me. One of them played for the Rams already. Linebacker Bobby Wagner is surprisingly still a free agent. The dude
Both
is
of them
a
played, no?
did both of them? Oh yeah, Odell Beckham did too. What am I talking about? Okay, well both of them played. My bad. But familiar faces then. Bobby Wagner and wide receiver Odell Beckham Jr. He just like we were just talking about D Hop. Odell Beckham showed his old school Odell Beckham skill set at the Flag Football Classic and caught a one-handed touchdown against two defenders, which was beautiful, by the way. If nobody saw that, please go look it up because it was fantastic. And then Bobby Wagner, for obvious reasons, Bobby Wagner is still a crazy workhorse at his age, at this many years in the NFL. The dude had what, 4.5 sacks, I believe it was, um, and a crap load of tackles. Let me see. I should have had this up.
6 sacks, 140 total tackles in when he was with the Rams, two
Yeah, but
interceptions, five passes defended.
2025, he had 79 total tackles, I believe it was, for 4.5 sacks and two interceptions. Like the dude can still play, and maybe he might have some hurt feelings though because of what happened. He did sign with the Rams in 2022.
Yep.
2020, yeah,
2022, and then he was a cap hit casualty because the Rams were not in a good spot following the Super Bowl because of the whole F them pick saga,
Hmm.
and they had to cut him. But that's the nature of the business, and Bobby Wagner is a consummate pro. So I don't know, bring
I
both.
mean, it's a compliment, no? It's like you're so good, you're so expensive, we have to give you off to someone else. Yeah, why
yeah,
not come back and get that ring with them? That's what
yeah,
they're chasing, this is the year that they hope to get there. And so, he's older, he's going to be 36 in June, so could be his farewell to the league.
yeah. No, it's crazy because that was the plan in 2022, right? It was like the Rams are gonna come back, and I don't know about win it all, but I mean, I'm sure they had desires to, make
Mhm.
another deep run, but then a lot of injuries hit. Stafford only played 9 games, so that was just like a weird. That was a weird year. It was a true Super Bowl hangover. Just a lot of things didn't go right for them, but Bobby was like kind of like the lone kind of bright spot, right? Like
Mhm.
he recorded a career high six six sacks that year, right? So like he was really really good for the Rams that year for a struggling Rams team. Um, I feel like bringing him back, that certainly wouldn't be my first option or my second option. I feel like they could go younger. I look at guys, like Jacob Rodriguez out of Texas Tech, Kyle Lewis out of Pitt, um, Jay Golday out of Cincinnati. If they could maybe get those guys in the draft, that would be really great. But like we also talked about depth too, right? If Bobby Wagner's willing to, maybe play a limited role because he is going to be 36 Billy, like you mentioned, like, hey, why not go for it, right? I say pick up some depth in the draft, and also if Bobby Wagner is interested in a role like that in the Rams team that's projected to be really really good and Super Bowl contenders, hey, why not, right? If you really want another ring, come on and join. Most, not most of the players, but many of the key players from 2022 are still there, right? Obviously, you have McVay and Stafford who lead the charge. If Snead, feels like Wagner could be that extra piece, and Wagner wants to, come on and join and be back in Los Angeles for another go around, hey, why not, right? And then same with Odell.
Yeah, I mean,
Odell was a wonderful, beloved Raven for 1 year. And the only reason I remember he was a Ram was because it was like a late season. If we lost to the Rams, the Raven, and we were playing with Tyler Huntley and Lamar was
That's
injured, and Odell Beckham Jr. just went in the end zone and ruined our hopes. So
yeah,
he's burned into my memory as a Ram as much as he is as a Raven. And I think he's great. He was great in Baltimore. Again, it was just one of those things where we brought in a great receiver, didn't use him to its full potential. So I like him coming back. He's young-ish. I think he's 33. So why not?
yeah,
Good price. Why not?
yeah. Yeah, that's another one where I was like, certainly wouldn't be my first option, but obviously very familiar with the Rams and won a Super Bowl with the Rams, and it sucks that he didn't get to play in that full game because of that ACL injury. But if Snead and McVay feel like they could, they don't really they could use more depth, maybe use them as a wide receiver three at best, wide receiver four most likely, because I feel like they're gonna address that need in the draft. Hey, why not, right? Another go around. Super Bowl is going to be played in LA this year, so obviously very familiar with that. So I think either one of these additions, if they decide to go that route, I think it doesn't hurt them at all.
Yeah,
For
I mean,
a good price.
Yeah, for
yeah, I
good.
mean,
Yeah,
well, you look at it this way too. Like, why would Bobby Wagner and or Odell Beckham not want to join the Rams and ride off into the sunset with one more ring
Yep.
or a ring, whatever. I don't know if Bobby Wagner has a
yeah,
ring.
yeah.
He
With
I think he
does
does, yeah.
with
Legion of Boom.
Seattle. Oh
Legion of Boom.
man, my brain is just not braining
No, no,
today. You're
he
right.
was there for a long time.
I forgot he was, dude. He's been in the league so long that I forgot that he was with the Legion of Boom. I totally forgot. But
Yep.
yeah, there you go. But I mean, like, you're at the tail end of your career. You're in the twilight years of your career. Why not go out and join a contender, which is what any older player wants to do.
Yeah.
I mean, I fully expect Calais Campbell to do the same thing. If he comes, I know.
Never
Look,
loved.
I
Never
pitched it.
loved.
I pitched it. I talked it into existence. Go to the Ravens. But the point being, like, you want to join a contender. You want to join a team that you believe is going to make a deep run. The Rams are right up there, butt up against the Seattle Seahawks. And you can get one on the Seattle Seahawks if you go back to the NFC Championship and you're like Bobby Wagner. You're like, haha, whatever. I don't know, but that might not be a motivating factor. Maybe it will. I don't know. But the point being, I think both of them make sense. And again, like, I don't think this is going to happen anytime soon. But I think after the draft, Les Snead is gonna look at it, and Sean McVay, you'll look at the roster and go, okay, yeah, like maybe they don't have that cornerback depth, so they go get maybe even Rasul Douglas from the Dolphins because they, for some reason, don't want to pay the man. You go get that depth. You go get depth where you can. Those veteran players, those trusted players, and you go, this is the year we're going back to the Super Bowl in LA. We're gonna win it all. These are the guys we're gonna go get.
I know he's not secondary, but Carl Van Noy is still not
Coil
re-signed.
Kyle Van Noy would be perfect too. Like that guy is that. And again, these are the guys they're those strong leader veteran
Yeah.
voices too. It's not like they're just some 36-year-old whatever guy that just been in the league for a long time. But like
Super
they,
Bowl
yeah.
champion. Right now.
And look at it this way. So it was Jared Verse, I believe it was on that podcast, and he talked about the youth of the Rams defense
Yep.
basically crap the bed in the NFC Championship. And so then you look at it sobering comments to go, hey, he made a point. They are a young defense, even though they held together. There were some moments where they needed that person to step up. Kyle Van Noy and or Bobby Wagner would be that guy to go and say, guys, we got to go.
Yeah.
Lock in.
Or Calais Campbell again. It's not like you need. Look, I'm just saying.
I love him so much. I love
I was
man so much.
so happy when the Dolphins signed him, and I was so
I
upset when
bet.
he left. I was like, no. But anyway,
I know he makes a lasting, and that is the thing, is he is that voice, and so the Rams do need that voice, and he will be that voice for them. So they can do a lot worse than Calais Campbell.
absolutely. Well, this has been a very fun episode, even though we went off the rails a little bit there at the end. Well, that's okay. This has been Roundtable Rams, episode number 12. Thank you so much, Billie Melissa and Buddy, for joining me. We will be back next week where we're going to start talking more about the draft and whatever the hell the Rams may or may not do. We don't know. It's a toss-up. I am of the mind, as Buddy is, that they're going to trade down. I just don't see them sticking there unless, of course, somebody worthwhile drops to number 13, in which case
Yeah.
go ahead and go take them, because why the hell wouldn't you? But other than that, if all those guys are gone by number 13, I think you trade down.